Hey, I appreciate you watching this video and I hope it can be of service to you. If you don't already know, my name is Hermann and the purpose of this channel is to inspire you to follow your own dreams by me sharing stories and lessons from my own journey. That being said, today I want to talk about something more philosophical. This is something that really has helped me to take my first initial step. I left Estonia alone with a one-way ticket, right? A lot of my friends consider that brave. I wouldn't really say that myself, but I understand why they would say that. And I want to talk about the mindset behind that, what made it possible for me to leave Estonia like that alone with a one-way ticket in the aftermath of the corona crisis. Because a year back, for example, or maybe 2 years back, I wouldn't have been able to do that. I would have been too scared. I guess the corner piece of this bravery, or whatever you want to call it, is that I accepted, before I even left Estonia, I accepted that I might die. I accepted death as a possibility of me leaving Estonia, because that's really what lies beneath every fear that we have. It's the fear of death. For example, I heard this somewhere that public speaking is a form of the fear of death, because you see in the prehistoric times when you even said anything wrong, like among your tribe, you could have been cast out, and that pretty much meant death for you. So that's where our fear of public speaking emanates from, the fear of death. So I accepted death as a possibility, knowing full well with my logical brain that it's a silly thing to do, in the sense that, come on, I'm not gonna die, most likely, right? But I had to do it because there's one side to my brain which is logical, or my mind, and the other side of the mind is emotional, right? And the emotional side of the brain is what requires this assurance that everything's gonna be fine, because one of the biggest fears of every human is the fear of the unknown, right? And my plan was to take myself from my known environment, pluck myself out of there and put myself in a completely unknown environment alone. So that's what I effectively did. But in order for me to do that, I had to accept the possibility of death. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had the courage, or I wouldn't have had the right mindset, and I wouldn't have been able to leave Estonia. Now, a lot of people, they think about death, or they hear the word death, and they immediately think about oh, what the fuck, Herman, you're suicidal or something, or wow, that's so morbid, why would you ever go there? But it's not. Death is a natural part of life. I don't see why it should be a taboo topic to talk about, or to even think about. A lot of people get depressed when they even think about death, because it's something so incomprehensible, I guess. And what I realized is that in order for you to even truly enjoy life or live life to the fullest, at the very start you already have to accept death as a possibility, because if you're so scared of death, you're scared to do pretty much anything, because anything could result in death. You could die at any moment. So what I'm trying to say is that one clue maybe for you to help you propel you toward your dreams is try to start unraveling this topic of death. Have you really consciously admitted and accepted the fact that you're actually gonna die someday, or that really you might die at any moment? For me, what that did basically was, when I realized that I might die at any moment, and I accepted that, then it didn't really matter anymore for me whether I stayed in Estonia in my comfort zone, or I flew with a one-way ticket to Greece. The chances of dying are pretty much the same in both locations. Look inside yourself, or sit down and have a chat with yourself on the topic of death, and think about it. When are you when are you planning to die? Sure, a lot of people like want to live to an old age, but it's so true that there's no point like living to an old age if all you're really doing is not living but existing, and that's what staying in Estonia would have meant for me. I would not have been happy there in Estonia because I would have been constantly thinking about me submitting to my fears, not being able to conquer my fears, not being able to do the things that I want to do, which is traveling and do this crazy stuff like, donate all my money and whatnot. So, to recap, basically, what helped me with taking this leap of faith, toward my own dreams was accepting that I am going to die, and accepting the fact that I might die at any moment, no matter where I am. And why that helped me is through the realization that, okay, if I don't take action now, then I might not be able to take action tomorrow or the very next moment for that matter. And the last thing about death that helped me move me toward my dreams was the realization that unless I accept death as a possibility from the very beginning, I can't really live a fulfilled life anyway. I feel like the greatest freedom in life comes from doing exactly what you want, knowing full well that you might die during it. So if you just reflect by yourself on this topic, then I think you might find some very exciting tweaks that you can do to your psyche that would unlock all kinds of cool potential and courage, which in that case, like for me, it's not courage anymore, it's just accepting your fate, and doesn't require courage anymore, you're just doing it. But anyway, if you found this useful, I'm glad. I really truly want you to experience what I'm experiencing, which is just this bliss. I was able to take my leap of faith and start following my dreams. I feel so free, and it's fucking crazy when I compare it to what I felt back in Estonia. I was putting in the work like maybe 10% of what I'm putting in now, and I constantly fell off the wagon over there. I relapsed into like complete chaos, and I felt so guilty, and yet I dreaded the work in Estonia because I was still letting my fears control me so much. So I wasn't going directly toward my goals. When I was putting in work, I was actually doing something like sidetracking or trying to do something productive at least. But now that I'm clear on my purpose, which a few days back used to be inspire someone every day, but I decided that's like too small. So my purpose now is inspire the universe. Anyway, whatever the case, I want you to know that I personally thank the universe every day for your existence. So you are loved, and I hope to see you in the next video. Follow your dreams, please.